everyone. I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about trauma bonding, and before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So let us understand what trauma bond is. Trauma bond is a kind of a deep attachment that the victim forms and develops with the abuser, the perpetrator. Yeah. And it's very complex. It's because of this trauma bond, the cycle goes on. People are trapped in toxic and narcissistic relationship. Yeah. Trauma bonding is also reflected in different aspects of narcissistic relationship. When we look at idealization, when we look at the devaluation, or when we look at the discarding phase, and in all of these phases you can see that hidden bit of positive reinforcement. Yeah, reward. If you do this, I'm going to listen to you. If you do this, I'm going to love you. If you are going to do this, I'm going to show affection. Yeah, otherwise I'm going to withhold all of that. Otherwise I'm going to confiscate all of that. Yeah. So this is what trauma bonding is: an unhealthy, deep, enmeshed, complicated attachment between the abuser and the victim. Trauma bonding happens because of inconsistencies in the relationship, and inconsistencies like invalidation, devaluation, dehumanization, lots of chaos, unpredictable environment. All of this basically leads to a person developing trauma bond with their abuser. They really are not sure. Yeah, the environment is not predictable, the relationship is not predictable, there is nothing secure. Yeah, the victim doesn't know what is going to happen next. The narcissist is happy, but the victim is not sure how the narcissist is going to react after 5 minutes. Yeah, the same thing we can observe with these kids also. Those who grow up in homes with a narcissistic parent, they also develop this avoidant and anxious attachment style, and it's because of all these unpredictable environment and atmosphere. They are unsure, there is lots of chaos, there is lots of withholding of love, there is devaluation, invalidation, gaslighting, manipulation, drama, lots of anger, lots of rage, humiliation, dehumanization. So all of this, the presence of these things, yeah, in a relationship, uh, you can say acts as a catalyst. Yeah, uh, for the victims to form that unhealthy attachment. Yeah, to develop that unhealthy attachment with the narcissist. And we know that narcissists are expert in withholding love. They are going to give you tiny bits of crumb. Yeah, breadcrumbing is one of their way of keeping you on hook. They are going to be strict, they are going to tell you not to do this and do this in this way. If you do a mistake, they are not going to let you go. Yeah, they are going to uh, pull you by feet to the fire. They are not going to just let you get away, yeah, by causing them narcissistic injury. Because these narcissists, they want their victims to comply, be obedient, and all the time ready, and serve them with whatever the narcissist wants. The same thing can be seen with these children, I mean, who have a narcissistic parent, because there is a lot of this positive reinforcement also that can be seen with these narcissistic parents. They are going to give tiny bits of rewards. The same way how we train cats and dogs, that's how narcissists treat their own. Yeah, we need to understand that narcissists lack empathy. Yeah, so be it their wife, be it their kid, be it their victim, be it their spouse, whoever it is, narcissists won't care what you are going through or what you feel on the inside. Yeah, that's what makes a narcissist. They are all about themselves. I, me, myself, my feeling has to be paid attention to. My pain is the greatest pain, my suffering is the greatest suffering. So the entire world you know should revolve around the narcissist. Yeah, that's how these narcissists think. And deep inside we know that narcissists are insecure being. So they build a castle of lies around them, yeah, to feel protected, to feel safe, and to live in that delusionary world which is very away from our reality. So there is a lot of this conditioning and training that happens in the childhood. And because of this unpredictable environment, these kids, I mean, who have narcissistic parent, they develop these attachment styles, whether you call anxious attachment style, whether you call disorganized attachment style, or look at the avoidant attachment style. So these kids are the ones who get trauma bonded to other toxic people as well, because these kids grow up believing and seeing that this is how it is. Yeah, I will be punished, love and affection will be withheld from me if I do some mistake, and after some time I'll be given tiny bit. Yeah, they are used to all of that, they are used to all that chaos. So if someone shows them tiny bit of respect and love, they think, oh wow, this is it, yeah, I've got it, this is the jackpot that I have hit. Yeah, it's a big thing for them. But for a healthy individual who has been raised in a healthy environment by healthy parent, they really don't find it amazing if someone loves them, or if someone praises them or gives them compliment. They really don't take it that seriously, the way how these kids who are raised by narcissists take it. And that's what makes them more susceptible and prone to falling into relationship with narcissists and toxic individuals. They have this distorted sense of reality. They think that chaos is how life is. Yeah, they think that invalidation is a major part of everyone's life. They think abuse is a common thing in every relationship, in every family, in every house. Yeah, so a tiny bit of good words from a toxic individual or a narcissist or an abuser or a predator makes them feel good. They think that finally I've got it, this is the right one. But that right one is toxic. That right one later on discards them, devalues them, further dehumanizes them. But these kids are still stuck in those relationships. Yeah, because they really don't know what healthy looks like. Yeah, and they develop this deep bond with their abusers. The same thing can be observed with kids and their narcissistic parent. These kids, they don't stop loving their parent. But do the narcissistic parents love their kids? No, they just look at their kids as a source of supply. Yeah, relationship is very transactional, instrumental, and conditional for these narcissists. So it's a very sad thing, but that's how things are. When we look at the healthy individuals, parents love their kids unconditionally. And so what if the kid has done mistake? It's all right. Yeah, the parent is never going to withhold love and affection from their kids. They're going to keep on showering love and affection, and they're going to make them feel safe. Yeah, they are going to be very predictable. Yeah, they are not going to have a chaotic atmosphere. Yeah, or a dramatic atmosphere at home. Everything is going to be calm, stable, healthy. Everyone talks, everyone discusses things. Things are very different when we look at the healthy families, healthy individuals, healthy parent. But when we look at narcissists, things are very damaging beyond explanation. Yeah, So, this trauma bond is like a combination of love and abuse. It's just that the abuse is more, love is this, maybe a minuscule, yeah. So the love is this and the abuse is this much. So this is what a trauma bond is, yeah. The abuser gets to do anything and everything, and the victim, is just there waiting for that tiny bit of goodness. The victim might, further engage into self gaslighting. Maybe he did this because he had some pressure, maybe she did this because she had some stress. So, we need to understand, we like, seeing consonance, we like seeing symmetry, we want to make sense out of anything and everything, yeah. And then we feel calm, then we feel at rest. That's um, how our brain functions, yeah. We want to make sense of things, yeah. And the simplest example would be when you start seeing images in the clouds, yeah. Please do comment if you have also experienced that, seeing some forms and figure and images in the cloud. So that's how our brain works, yeah. It wants to build a story, it wants to add more structure and meaning to something that is very abstract and something that is not meaningful. And the same thing happens with these kids, with these individuals who are raised in chaotic environment, who have been raised by narcissistic parents. These, kids want to make sense out of the relationship. They really don't have any other option, yeah. I mean, we don't have a plan B. When we are kid, we don't choose our caregivers, yeah. We don't get to choose that. And we don't have a plan B, so we have to adjust, shape shift and make sense, yeah. There is this tiny bit of crumb and validation that is given to us, from an early age, whenever we do things right and whenever we please the narcissist, I mean narcissistic parent. But there is this series of endless punishment also. And it's very difficult for a child to accept and believe that their parents can be abusive, yeah. Because we know that there is a lot of narratives that is peddled in the society. Parents are god, there's that, you owe to your parent, even though if they do bare minimum, you have to give them this much. Even if your parent is abusive, you have to be respectful towards them. So there is a lot of enabling thing that happens in the society, and that further propels or encourages people to be in toxic relationship, people to be in that trauma bonded relationship for long. And I mean, I really don't want to comment on that. It's I mean, that is how it is. I mean, uh, from my experience and what I look around, people are just enabling trauma bonded relationships, people are just enabling toxic relationship. So what if she has done this? So what, after all he's doing this, after all he's doing that, after all she's doing this, after all he's your this, after all she's your this. So these kids are really messed up, yeah, when they are raised by narcissistic parent. And these kids later develop trauma bond with their abusers as well. So these kids really don't know what healthy is. These kids really don't know what happy family looks like. These kids really cannot imagine and visualize a family with stability and no chaos and no drama and no abuse, yeah. So coming back to making sense out of things, the kids keep seeing the parent as their parent, as their caregiver. The kids keep loving their parent, yeah, because they can relate to them, they are attached to them. And they get tiny bit of crumbs on and off. So these kids, they just want to make sense out of the entire experience, and then these kids get into self gaslighting. My mother was abusive, but I was a difficult child. My dad was abusive, but I was a difficult child. I was abused by my husband because I'm a difficult wife. Yeah. My husband slapped me because he was stressed at work. So we, are in that state of, I would say, this cognitive dissonance, and we badly want to make that picture look somewhat perfect and okay. So we start gaslighting our own selves. We get into self gaslighting. Plus, we start rationalizing, the abusive behavior. Yeah, he did it because he was very angry. I, even I am at fault. It was my mistake. I triggered him. Yeah. I mean, I get to hear this quite often. Adult children of narcissistic parents are big time into, self gaslighting and rationalizing and normalizing their parents' abusive behavior. If a third person tells them, hey, your wife is being abusive, hey, your dad is being abusive, they are going to take the blame, they are going to make a word salad out of it, and they are going to present it. No, he was angry and frustrated because I was wrong. I did a mistake. She was being abusive. My wife was being abusive because I had been a difficult husband. I had not been listening. So, these kids know that they have to shapeshift in order to accommodate in that relationship. Yeah, and keep looking out for that tiny bit of love, which is, once in a blue moon. Yeah, that validation, that love, that affection, that intimacy, once in a blue moon is given to these victims. So these kids are used to that, and these kids are, more prone to, attracting more narcissists and having a trauma bonded relationship. They will keep finding meaning in that relationship, even if, a third person can, look at their relationship and say that, hey, you are in an abusive relationship, hey, you are in a toxic relationship. They are going to, come forward the same way they had been rationalizing and normalizing their parents' abusive behavior. These kids are going to come forward and say, no, it's not an abusive relationship. I'm the difficult one. I don't listen. I'm unable to do things right. That's why he's getting angry. That's why she's getting frustrated. Yeah. So the cycle goes on. We need to understand if at the core of any relationship there is this, trauma bonding, or there is this lots of anger, rage, unpredictability, hate, vengeance, vindictiveness, contemptuousness, and tiny bit of love. That is unhealthy, that is toxic. Yeah. So yes, this is what trauma bonding is. This is what trauma bond is. It's an unhealthy attachment that glues the victim to his or her, abuser. And these victims keep waiting, keep hoping that one fine day things are going to be okay, things are going to be fine. I'm going to get all that love, everything is going to change, become more merrier. But nothing changes. They are treated miserably, they are invalidated on a daily basis, they are minimized, they are gaslit on a daily basis, they are dehumanized, and still they choose to be, in connection with that abuser. Still they choose to be in that toxic, unhealthy relationship. Yeah. So this is what trauma bonding is, and this is what trauma bonding does. Yeah. These victims, they begin to find, some goodness. Yeah. So they have something to, exhibit and show in front of the others, though it might be the tiny bit, maybe a gift they got from the narcissist or abusive partner or parent 20 years back. They still keep it. This was the first gift that I got from my parent, this is the gift that I got from my partner. But it's these tiny, bits of good time that they get, and they spend ages in return. Yeah, they spend ages tolerating abuse in hopes of that tiny, fraction of good time that they had, tiny bit of gifts they had got, and they were validated for a short while. So they keep a track of all of those good experiences, And when they see that someone is able to see through the toxic dynamic, someone is able to see their toxic partner, these, trauma bonded victims are going to come out and protect their abuser, and they are going to say, well, she took me out here, he took me out there, he did this, he did that. They are going to, become, an advocate for that toxic person. So these individuals are, as it is, messed up. They have this low self-esteem, they have this low self-worth, yeah, because of all that constant gaslighting and manipulation. It erodes your self-worth, it erodes your self-esteem, yeah. So what trauma bond does is that it puts you in that state. All that gaslighting, all that minimization simply puts you, in a very vulnerable position where you are not even sure about yourself, yeah. And that's how the narcissist keeps you on hook for long. So you want to have a good story, you see others having a good story to talk about, yeah. I mean, the trauma bonded individual, the victim, so they also, make up their version of story. No, she's very good, no, he's very good, he did this, he gifted me this, she gifted me this. So they want to feel and live like a normal individual, like a normal healthy individual. And they know that happy moments don't last for long. When you are in narcissistic relationship, abusive relationship, happiness doesn't last for long. And it's not quite often that these victims, witness happiness. Yeah. It's for a short while. It's only given to them when they are able to accomplish the task that is laid out by the narcissist or their, abuser. So yes, this is what trauma bonding is, and this is what it does to a person. If someone is trauma bonded, it's very difficult for that person to come out of that relationship. And the key, or you can say the solution to, such relationships, such unhealthy attachment, is awareness. The more you read, the more you understand what you're dealing with, the more you observe yourself, the more you become conscious of what you're doing, and the more you explore and see things around, you know all of that has the key, that can unlock the doors of healing, yeah. And then you can evolve and you can set yourself free from the clutches of that abuser or that narcissistic person. So yes, it really keeps you trapped, and you keep trying hard to make sense, you keep trying hard to rationalize, you keep trying hard, playing the advocate, for your abuser or for the narcissist that you are with. So yes, this was all about trauma bonding. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Please take care of yourself. Please help me create more awareness. Share this video with your loved ones, and make sure you comment your thoughts and your views or any of your experiences below. And please take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.